These are totally just for show. I'm not actually talking to anyone. Let's do a bombing run. Okay, step 1. Select an air-to-ground mode. Step 2, need to identify our target. Choosing to select this by radar. I also know roughly what I'm looking for anyway, so that certainly helps. Doppler beam sharpening level 2. Looking for the center target. Seems I haven't actually got a release loaded, so I'm just going to conduct a level dry pass. Pick up a bit of speed. Impact spacing is relevant. Paired releases. Arming delay. Doesn't actually matter, so I'll say these ones are set for 2.8. That'll give us something to do. Nothing loaded. And I think we've just gone overhead. We have a nice range pattern set up. We'll just fly out. We're at 15,000 feet. Flying quite a far bit out of the circuit area. Extending the circuit leg like this would normally be used to slow down our position in the circuit.
Altitude.
It's a bit far to do so though. It's also quite low for the average bombing run. Oh yeah, only 3,000 AGO. Depends on the run. I'm being pretty casual here though. Okay. On the downwind leg, I'm just checking and setting. I've still got my weapons set and prepped. I should at this point probably ensure that I've got arm selected. If I'd had my switch set to sim selected, we wouldn't be having a very interesting day on the range. So I've got arm selected for my pass. I'm just passing 5.8 miles slant range. Alright, 6.8 miles slant range seems as good a time as any. Anything over 5 miles, then you're probably going to have enough time for most run-ins. Kind of depends what you're trying to do. Okay, CCRP symbology here. You can see this selected in the heads-up display where it says CCRP. This is a computer-guided bombing mode, and it's fairly simple in this case. So not implemented quite correctly in Falcon, but it's pretty close. What we're going to do, nice and simple, weapon release, and just going to slice nose low and moderate G-turn back to north. CCRP, or continuously computed release point, fairly simple bombing mode. The pilot's responsible for changes in azimuth, i.e. you have to aim where the bomb's going. The computer's responsible for timing the release so that the bomb will have the correct release point. It should fly the correct range to the target. It's constantly trying to vary this based on your current speed and your current G setting. So ultimately you don't want to be changing your speed too much whilst you're doing this. Effectively speaking, how you do it, as you can see, is quite simple, and we'll run through it again. All we have to do here is center the bombfall steering line, which we'll see in a second. That's actually the azimuth steering line, my deepest apologies, or ASL. We simply center the flight path marker on the ASL, or azimuth steering line, as you can see there. That's roughly centered. We fly it to the, I forget the name for this, I'm well and truly out of practice here. In any event, that's a release cue that we've just flown it to, which is the horizontal bar that was on the steering line, telling us that we've just released near range. It's a bit hard to see there, but there's a second bar approaching it, and when that is coincident with the flight path marker, then we have a release, and you can again hear the release there. And again, I'm the only plane in the circuit, so I'm not exactly following proper procedure, or any procedure really, I'm just dropping bombs. So that's CCRP in a nutshell. You use some kind of sensor to select it, as in this case the radar. I just haven't moved the radar cursors since I first selected the target. Moving the radar cursors at this point would completely slew the solution off where it currently is, which if we check that, it looks pretty close to me. I'm probably biased though. Could happen. And that's CCRP. Say you don't have time to select a CCRP solution, or it just won't make sense because of the tactical situation. You might not be able to get a radar lock on it. You might need, for instance, to have a more visual solution, or you just want to be able to choose where you're heading. The computer solution for you is continuously computed impact point. This leaves you a lot more in charge for steering, which you can see I've just stepped for it now. Now we have a bomb fall line, as you can see in the heads-up display. There's a caret at the bottom, which is displaying an impact point. Now, if I get a little bit closer to my intended target and dive to pick up a bit of speed, you'll see the horizontal bar through the line disappear again. And that, among other things, will mean that the solution it's displaying is a valid solution. As you can see, it's gone now, so the dot on the HUD, that's where bombs will drop if I pick right now. And we'll go for that one. That should probably not going to be a good solution, as we were not wings level at the time we released. But we'll see what happens. Falcon's a little more forgiving to some of these than the real F-16 is. Okay, and again, continuously computed impact point. You put the thing on the thing and pull the trigger. Pickle. Very simple. The one catch, which I'll go through and show in a tick, is just the that horizontal bar through the steering line, which means it has a delayed solution. As you can see that bar again, what that means is that if I try to pickle right now, the location of the caret is not in fact where the current fall will be. So if I press and hold it right now, I won't get a release. However, what you will see is a solution queue very similar to CCRP. This is post-CCIP, post-CCIP designate, and effectively we'd fly to a solution in much the same way we normally would for CCRP. The simple way to avoid having to deal with it is just to fly at such a speed or in such a dive angle that the bombing solution is displayed in the HUD, as in this case here. But if it's displayed out of the HUD, you press and hold and wait for a release cue. Those are the two modes you'd be using most frequently in Falcon. It's far from a comprehensive guide, and I thoroughly encourage you to read the manual. Probably far from a good guide for that matter too. But by all means, let me know what you think.